Well, hello friends. Today we are gonna look a little bit at double clicking. So I noticed yesterday that I have this issue that you can double click on something with the two clicks pretty far apart, and it gives kind of a silly behavior. So like I have this thing where you can double click on one of these to open and close it, like this. Um, but if I click like first on this one and then on that one, in quick succession, then it still counts as a double click. And the reason that happens is because the window manager or the Windows server that manages the whole screen, he decides that, okay, this was a double click because you click twice on the same window in quick succession. And then the window just looks at the last of the clicks to say, well, okay, so this click hit this widget, and then we just send a double click to that widget. So we really need to be doing some kind of a distance check to see that the two clicks are close enough together. Because I think that if we require them to be on the exact same pixel, then that will probably fail a bunch of clicks that should be considered double clicks. Because like you nudge one pixel this way or that way while you're clicking. So I'm thinking we'll do a distance check, and if it's within, I don't know, 4 pixels or something like that, then we can say, okay, well, that was a double click. Whereas if you move more than 4 pixels, then we can say, maybe not a double click. So, yeah. So how do we do that? Well, I guess we gotta go look at how this is implemented. So the double clicks, they originate in the window manager. Oops, that's not what I wanted to maximize. And yeah, it's called mouse double click. And it's the event type that we generate in the window manager and send over to the client program. So here actually is where that's generated. This code was written by Robin a while ago. Very nice code, but it does have this one flaw, so let's try to fix it. It even mentions right here, it might be a sensible idea to add a distance travel check. Indeed. So we have the double click info where we get the click clock for a given event button. So the event happens for a specific button, so it's either left, right, or middle. And then we have separate clocks for each one so that we can, like, if you double click with 2 separate buttons, then it doesn't count as a double click, right? So I guess we should probably expand this to have more than just a timer, but also have the last click location of each one. And I don't know, maybe we'll call it like, oh geez, what do we call this? Double click info, click metadata. I don't know. It's not the not the most important thing what we call this, but we'll call it click metadata. And we'll have an elapsed timer, clock, and we can actually call it just clock. I tend to not use m underscore on struct members, because if you do like dot something anyway and then a public member, then it looks weird to have m underscore. Looks weird to me anyway. We'll say position. Okay. And then we'll just vend these instead. That looks a little bit silly, so I can just do this. Oh, it doesn't let me type over it. I have to erase it first. Queue creator, please. We'll just call it M left, M right, and M middle. Maybe these should be private then. Because I guess that you call this guy here. So metadata for a button. I mean, I like the name click clock because it's funny, but metadata for button is going to be a bit better now. Click clock. It's implemented here. Manager. Oh god, that's going to be. So here's like when you have these nested type like this, right? This is a really awfully long name. Metadata for button. So here is where you can do this nice thing, auto, boom. And then you're in the scope of the function now, so we know that we can just type click metadata amp, boom. That's kind of nice. This is like, yeah, as you can see, it's quite a bit shorter. Anyways, I guess this is basically all that we need to do here. So then where do we use the click clock? We get here. So we'll rename this to auto rename. It's not going to work. Okay. Metadata. Okay, and then here we'll call dot clock. So now there's more to it than that. So we'll just do that and metadata clock. Okay. Now we also want to look at the position. So let's see how this works. If the clock is invalid, then we haven't clicked with this button ever yet on this window. So there's nothing to do, right? We just log what happened. So I guess the very last thing we're going to do is say metadata position is event position. Okay, so probably we should rename this actually to last position. Okay. So here, we can probably remove this distance check thing because we're going to add it now. So if elapsed since last click is less than the double click speed, that means that it was indeed fast enough to be a double click. Distance traveled. Or actually, I guess we're going to have to use a square root to get the distance correctly. So maybe we should do that inside here just to be nice. I mean, I know that we could compute like a Manhattan distance, you know, like a zigzag distance, but let's use the square root just to be fancy. So let's say foot distance traveled. Maybe that's a double actually. Skirt. This might be the first time I'm using skirt in my own code for 10 years. I don't normally do a lot of math. So what the hell is the distance between these 2 points? I know that you have to use a square root. So I guess you would subtract the points from each other, and then you would get, oh god, this is so, okay, I'm lazy. Because I know you just have to use the Pythagorean trick. Distance, distance between 2 points. Distance between 2 points in C. All right. hit me with that answer. It's too early for this shit. So what's the trick? Subtract the points and then square them, and sum of the squares is the hypotenuse. It's the square of the hypotenuse, and then you get the distance by square rooting that. Right. Makes perfect sense. So I guess that's all right. Wait. Okay. I'm lazy. Let's just do this. Let's just do this way. So metadata, last position x. X times x. Y times y. And then I guess we can, oh wow, this looks weird here. Did I do that? Well, it doesn't matter, never mind. And then if distance traveled is, if it's less than, or let's say if it's greater than 4 pixels, then we will say metadata clock start. Too far. Try again. Else. Wow, this is nesting kind of hideously here. I guess we could actually do this, which is and then like that. Actually, this can be an int. Let's say okay. Does anybody else find math boring? I find it kind of boring. I mean, I like that it can solve problems for me, but it's not very interesting. I don't know why. It never seemed interesting to me. Not a lot of people love it, but it's not for everyone. Algorithms, on the other hand, that's fun. Okay, so what does it tell us? Distance traveled, 19. Well, that's very far. Is it a 0? Yeah, it's kind of cool. Okay, so then wait, but it says 19. Why is it still a double click? I don't get it. Distance traveled. Not a double click. Oh, wait, hold on. If I click on something that, if I single click on it, it still opens it if it's closed. Oh, that's some other behavior. Oh, okay. So that's just some issue in the file manager. I kept thinking, like, why the hell does it open if it's not making a double click out of it? That's just some other issue in the tree view. Okay, so we do have the right behavior because you can see from the output over here that now it doesn't consider those with far distance to be double clicks, whereas if I click close to each other, then indeed it's a double click and we open the file. So yeah, this works everywhere now. It's kind of neat. Double click selects the whole line. Cool, very, very cool. Let's try to tidy this up a bit. So let's see. Maybe it doesn't have to be more tidy than this at the moment. I mean, I guess we could return here. Then we just want to make sure that we set the last position before we leave. So that's the part that I don't like, because we have to remember to do this before we leave. So I kind of, like, I don't like writing code like this because it's very error prone, right? And we could also do like a little trick, and we could do like a scope guard or whatever it's called. Scope guard. Could do something like this, where we say like that. And then this will make sure that when we exit the scope, then this stuff here executes. This would allow us to get rid of that, and we can do that. And here we can do that. Actually, here we can do, if it's greater than double click speed, then we can just do metadata clock start return. Too slow, try again. Maybe this isn't going to be so bad, actually. I kind of hesitate to use scope guards, but at the same time, it's like they do allow a large amount of simplification. Okay. Did this really get significantly simpler though? Because now you have to be aware of this trick here, which is really, really, I don't love this one. It's a bit weird. But maybe that's okay. I wish we could consolidate all of the returns though. Metadata clock start. Because the issue is that we don't do this, we don't restart the clock on every type of exit, because if we exit after a double click, then we invalidate it, so that otherwise triple clicking would like create a sequence of 2 double click events, right? Because you would still think that you were in like the first click of a double click next time you get here. So in that case, we have to go back to the like the original state of the clock where it hasn't received a single click yet. So I think it was actually better when it was nested. Yeah, it was better. Go away, scope guard. I mean, I like scope guard, but not for this particular thing. Put those back. Okay, I guess that's okay. So let's do a patch review. Starting at the bottom here. So now we have expanded the double-click info to not just be a elapsed timer anymore, but to have 3 click metadata objects, 1 for each mouse button. And where's the mouse button thing, by the way? Mouse button. Oh, right, it's a mask. Okay. I was thinking like we could use an array, but it's a mask, so it's a bit different. So never mind. Right, so now we have the clock and the last position for each mouse button. And then here we renamed click clock to metadata for button, give you the metadata when you ask for it. And of course you get it as a mutable reference so that you can change it, not just a copy. And then here in the click handling code, process event for double click, we now, if we think that something was fast enough to be a double click, we also look at the distance traveled and check. If it traveled more than 4 pixels, then we consider it too far apart to be a double click. Other than that, it's just business as usual. And then we remember the last position when we exit. So I think that's good. So let's say Windows Server. Don't transform far apart clicks into far apart clicks into double clicks. Require that double clicks be clicks be within 4px of each other. That the 2 clicks that make up a double click be within 4 pixels of each other. Yeah. This fixes an annoying silly issue now where could easily double click on things. Wait, this is too wide. You could let's fix this. Well, yeah, obviously. Okay. No more than okay. Now this fixes the annoying behavior where you often get incorrect double click events on GUI widgets. Okay, cool. Very cool. So let's push that and let's just have one more look at it. Yeah, not a double click too far. Pretty cool. All right, so I think that's going to be it for today's video. So if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching, for coming here and hanging out. And I hope you saw something interesting, and I will see you next time.